Hey, what's up, Soul family? Welcome to this Saturday night Soul session live with me, LC. I am so grateful and truly honored to be here tonight. I have just been letting it run through my spirit doing this content creator series and specifically recovery content creators, but not necessarily addiction recovery content creators, people that are out in the world, sharing themselves vulnerably and sharing their healing and their processes and their talents and their gifts, putting themselves out into the world regardless of what kind of recovery it is, because to me healing is recovery. And so anybody who's doing that, like I have just been basking in the experience of how amazing it is to do this. Like with all the things that we're going to talk about, some of the things, about what people say and how it affects us. And we're going to talk about some of that tonight in this video too. But just to really be basking in just the sheer gratitude and the humility that other human beings allow me to share my life, my struggles and my tragedies and my triumphs, my processes and the things I've learned, given me the ability to cry and laugh and be with you all, and so many of us connect on the levels of just humanity. Like that blows my mind that I actually get to do this, and that human beings like so many of you who who are here and just let that happen. I'm so grateful. I'm truly so grateful. So there's my teasing moment, and I wanted to get it out there. But to all the people that put in the work, the work that you don't even see, group leaders and creators, and you know everyone who shares their highest and best self out there and helps us, the admins, the groups, the sharers. We can't be anybody without the sharers. You hear what I'm saying? Like, you don't just make content and put it out in the world and it just goes somewhere by itself. It is from every time somebody resonates with something that someone says or does or lights a fire with them, they push a button and then they share it with their friends. That is so humbling and honoring. So without all of you, none of us could do that. This and to get to share our hearts and what we feel like our call is, coming from that place, of devastation and active addiction, and those places where you did not feel like your life was really worth anything, to feeling like your life is now worth, someone taking in what you've been through and relating it to their own life, and it possibly changing their life too, like it changed yours, mine. Thank you. Thank you. I honor you. I truly do. And I'm so grateful that I get to do this. So, okay. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We are going to talk about some of the things that we go through as creators, why we do it, to kind of help people understand it a little bit more, and to also just give honor to all the work that goes into it and all the vulnerability that it takes. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So before we get into it, I want to do a little bit of fun work. I love getting to promote my friends and work that I believe in. And so when you are on Amazon doing your shopping, make sure that you pick up Pamela Topgian's book. Uh-oh, I'm on blur. I didn't come this far to only come this far. I will put the link up in the banners and I'll show it again and take this off sometime at the end. You gotta love live. This is why I love doing live. But anyway, go to Amazon and write in Pamela Topgian. She's made this book so affordable that it's even under 10 bucks. So spend some money on yourself, at every level, because where we start ain't nearly where we finish. We don't come this far to only come this far. So pick up this book. It's a great read. Y'all know I like to listen, and so it takes something really special for me to really read. And this is such a good read. It's like Joe Potosi's book. It's like Anthony Brown's book. I mean, it was just so good to read. And it's just that story that just relates and lets you know that you can do it all too. Anything you put your mind to. So make sure you go and get with Pamela Topgian. Stick around to the end, and you will have a special gift as well from Pamela Topgian and Hypno Breakthrough. Now, I ask you the question too. Have you downloaded your Sober app yet? What? Why not? What are you waiting on? It is absolutely completely affordable, and it is so much greater in worth in what it does for your life. Even all of your favorite creators, so many of them are right there in the Sober app. It's got communities and groups, it's got tracking, it's got nutrition, fitness. I mean, what else do you need to lead a happy, healthy lifestyle? You just need to believe that you are worth it and get motivated within you. And that's a good way to start. So download your Sober app. If you are on Apple, if you've got an iPhone, you know where to go, your app store. If you've got what is it called? Android. You can tell I use an Apple. If you got an Android phone, then go to your Google Play Store. And if you're on desktop, there's that too. And it is the sober.passion.io. I got it without any notes. Ha! Yes. So download your Sober app, do yourself the greatest favor, and make those two investments in yourself. You're still under like 20 bucks and you're growing in leaps and bounds. So come on, get out there, grow, grab the stuff it takes, get inspired, get motivated, and get up from your give up and create a life you love. Man, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So I'm super, super ready to get into this Saturday Night Soul session. So if you are too, then let's go. Hey, hey, what's up, Soul Warriors? I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful you're here too. Thank you for supporting Recovery Soul Food and me, LC, for all these years. I have just gone through so much with all of y'all, and it is just the most amazing thing to get to have so many other human beings, man, just supporting you. Like, even when we don't know each other, it's like supporting one another because we get each other's story. So, I want to start this podcast on a personal note, and I don't do all that much, but when it calls for it, I just go with my heart. Well, that's what I do in every one of these episodes. And so on a personal note, I look around my regular life as much as I look outside at the big, gurus and warriors that I love and appreciate. I try to find them within my own life too. And there is a woman that is very close to me and our family. I mean, she's worked with my mom in such a family setting since the 90s, and she's just a person that, just has been through so many life experiences that her strength within her life, and the way I'd see her. She had lupus and different autoimmune disorders in her bones and had arthritis, and she would come to work every day and put in, just every bit that she had into those things. And she worked a very hard labor job. She was a cleaning person on a tourist island, so she'd work 7 days a week in the summertime and just did all she could to help raise her grandchildren and just have something in life. And right now it looks as though, and I never count anybody out. I don't care what doctors say. If they say that she's at the end of her life, it's not their call, right? But I don't want this moment to go by in case, this is the end of her journey without just giving such a tribute to her and what she's meant in my life. And her name is Phyllis Gonzalez. And, I hope that there will come a time that, the world will continue to know more and more and more of warriors. And I urge you, wherever you are, as much as we look for, like I said, the outside, big people to share things that relate to us, there are warriors and inspiration all within your life, your daily life. And I've always said this since the day I started running my mouth on this camera doing this, that what we seek, we find. And if we go looking for the present true graciousness within our lives, we will have a much better experience. It's not to say that, we've been given these great emotions like love, because everything has a contrast. We all know that love feels amazing and love hurts like hell. And so much, of us, we try to avoid pain. So we get into relationships or stuff with people that are really, on a subconscious level, like unattainable, so that we don't have to give that part of ourselves away in fear of hurt. And we go through so much more suffering than if we let ourselves learn to experience our life. And so I wanted to do that with Phyllis today. I just wanted to, celebrate what she's meant to me and still means to me so much, because she's fighting cancer. You guys, like, she was at work one week, and then the next week she was still coming to work as the cancer was, even growing within her. She was just so dedicated, to what she did and what she said she was going to do. I mean, these are, attributes that people have that we can learn so much from. And, her integrity just led her way. And so, I wish her and her family the most, still amazing love and support and experience. And I thank all of you, for all of you amazing folks too that will end up commenting here and reaching out and sending her love. I mean, energy, it has no bounds. Energy has no bounds. You ever thought about somebody and then a couple days later they just happen to call you out of nowhere? Like, energy has no bounds. So we can surround each other in support and love at all times. We don't necessarily have to be in the thick of the fight to send love and support and energy and healing to, all situations that are happening. And that really means something. We don't give it enough credit, but I think we're beginning to. And so thank you, Phyllis, for what you've meant in my life. And thank y'all for giving me the opportunity to do that. So I've been getting into this content creator series because Danny, one of the co-creators, beautiful human being, was supposed to come on the show last week, and she had to like call a self-care kind of situation. Her head wasn't in the right space. It was a strange kind of, all things happening, a lot of stuff coming up over the last few weeks. And I just really admired that. And I thought, this is what really happens when we start sharing ourselves vulnerably and creating content in a world like this. You know, it is one of those fine lines, I think, like everything in addiction, recovery, healing. I mean, like everything, like we were talking about love, everything has a contrast. So it's got a good and a bad. We can exercise ourselves to death, in all honesty. We can deny ourselves certain vitamins and eat just a vegetable diet forever and look at nothing else and kill ourselves. We can run towards drugs and just go, go, go. So, we know how to do that. And we do that a lot of times when we start feeling like it's time to share outwardly. You can get so you know, excited to feel like you have a purpose, and that we can get caught up in what it's supposed to look like versus what it's supposed to feel like. You know what I mean? Like for a time, and I'm so grateful that I got to do it like that. I was doing videos 6 days a week and I was healing with y'all, and I still am. That's the reason I do this, because it's all a process. We didn't get anywhere overnight. And so I thought it was important for me to honor all of you by showing you my growth process. I thought that it would not be within my integrity to keep a part of, what was a big healing piece in my puzzle away from y'all, because I had shared so much already. So I had given so much already, and my recovery the benefits to it were amazing. I mean, I was 3 years in recovery when I started doing it. And, I see a lot of people coming in a lot earlier now, and that's hard, y'all. Like, it's hard to heal within the scrutiny of the public. It's hard to heal by yourself, or just recovery's hard in private. It's much harder when you do this, but it's when you feel like you also have that call, that purpose. No one said that it was going to be easy. Everything has that contrast. And throughout these years, I've seen it take some people down. I've seen it, take them over the edge to that place where it becomes pure egoic. And now we're feeding, another empty space within us. We just don't realize it. That's why I always say that I relate to the conscious recovery movement, where, I'm willing to really look and heal and get down to the roots. I don't want a surface answer that sounds good. I need to believe in it. That's what was I had so many relapse throughout my 22 years, because I was doing what sounded good and I was seeing it help other people, but it just wasn't getting down there, to me at that time and in that level. And so I would always relapse. But once your heart clicks with something, and you find a space, then, it's that becomes the healing part. And so I like the conscious movement. I don't want to sit on top. And so I've watched it reveal that in people, and it's hard to watch people, go down in front of you. But that's the nature of healing and recovery, like so many people want to be distrustful of and this is honesty. Like, I can share, I'm going to share honest. A lot of people have a distrusting sometimes of content creators because of some of the things they've seen in the past, and completely understandable. It becomes like this almost complex trauma, because recovery is so important to us. Like, it's life or death when we're talking about addiction, and a lot of different things as well. It's life or death. So, you know, it, and our feelings are so raw, and so when we get distrusting, or see something take somebody the other route, it makes us want to do that thing and shut down, and it becomes a hard place to be. And so a lot of times you've got to work through, a lot of the projection and a lot of the way people feel. Sometimes haters are projecting on you, and other times they're given some criticism. Like, there could be some truth or some things in what they say, and it's really, up to us to always be connected to our heart and our purpose. So, there's a lot to it, and that's why I admire it so much. And still, people that I see here, I see Janet McClanahan's here, and I see Lisa Goldberg's here, and my good friend Pamela. That's all I see on my end. So if you're here and I don't call you out, please don't get offended. I can only see so many, but my point about it is there's been so many of you with me from this start to finish to this journey. Like from when I started till now, and you've gone through this with me, and it's been amazing because a lot of people just couldn't. Like, they just couldn't go with me on that journey, and for the longest time, I let it bother me and hurt me, and that was one of the benefits of that, is that offered me this moment to realize where I had an open wound, and you could have, and at the time, when I think in the start of 2020, one of my insights said that we had reached 40,000 people. We were reaching 40,000 people a day at the start of the pandemic, and that was mind blowing. Just mind blowing that it was like that many people, were there with me. And it just kind of got to the place where not everybody could get past, how I was like growing. And when that happened and people started, falling off, or started with the hate speech. I mean, I can't tell you how many hate speeches I got, whenever. Not so much when I came out as trans, but as I began to like transform, so to speak, in their eyes, everybody couldn't go with me. And so I would get a lot of the hate speech. But again, it brings you back to this opportunity to see, okay, well, what wound, why does that hurt so much? When 40,000 people, giving you any moments of their time, and they're resonating in some way, shape, or form with a message, why does that one comment, why does, one out of, 500 comments? Because our community were chatters, like there was so much support in the community. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But, why did that one hurt so bad? And it gave me this chance to look at those wounds and do that healing. And I had to make the decision to keep pushing that live button, even after one of those, or someone would come on live with me, and while I was in the midst of live, start hate speeching me, or getting into this religious argument with me. I mean, all those things, it was like boot camp for healing. And people would say to me, "Why do you even keep doing it? Like, why do you keep doing that? Is that some kind of form of punishment, or like you sabotaging yourself?" And I was like, no, because I was not backing down into the shadows and letting that negative feedback overtake me. Because when we feel it and heal it, versus like trying to resist just feeling it, like we do when we use or buy or eat or whatever it is for whoever, you know, when we feel it and we heal it, then it doesn't have that same effect on us, because it's life, and it's gonna throw things. And a lot of times, the way we perceive everything and how it's coming in our lives, sometimes we forget what we prayed and asked for, because, we have to be prepared. We can't, say, I want to be such and such person, and then wake up the next morning. I mean, that movie Big in my day was awesome. I hoped that could happen, but it don't happen, So it becomes like this process when we can, just keep showing up as ourselves. And with each one of those happenings, like, I would find out more about myself. And then when I had took the break in 2021, there was just so much going on. And let me ask this. Excuse me. Let me ask this. Is anyone else noticing that they're starting to maybe see a little bit of like complex COVID trauma? I mean, I don't know if I can say that. I may have just messed up. Snowbid. Um, let's just don't say it at all. Has anybody been noticing any like social anxiousness kind of stuff going on? Am I the only one? Because it seems like I'm really, dealing, and I guess because I'm in a tourist area and I work within a tourist, spot that's just blown up over, like pandemic blow up. And it's wild. And I'm experiencing so much. And I just wondered if I was alone. So I'm throwing that out there if anyone else has been doing it too. Like we don't like I hear so many people. I mean, I'm envious a little bit of people that I heard that got really closer to different people because I did in the beginning too. But I also kind of found myself kind of becoming a hermit last year, and I see the bigger pictures, and I did, I made some amazing connections, and I'm always one to make a few, like amazing connections in those places. And but I felt like I couldn't show up in 2021 the way I was. And so now I'm starting to feel, the results of that. And so, anyway, I don't know if anybody else is feeling that, but that's another thing to be vulnerably sharing with you all as well, because that could too. I put that out there and people like, that's just ridiculous. You're either late to the party or, nobody else is feeling that. You're by yourself. Doesn't really matter. Like it's in my heart to share. And let me tell you something about purpose, and that's why I've always in everything I've done, I've always pushed that there is like this purpose living within you. And though you think it may be this one thing, it's really a bunch of things. And you find those things and you just move with them and let them, go where they are. But that purpose pulls you through so many of those days where if it were just left up to you, you'd give up, plain and simple. And, so it's less like you just get up and choose and push the live button so you can get your ego fix for that day. And it is that in some people. It has taken that toll on them. And that's their journey. That's their healing. That's their deal. Also that's for a purpose. They're helping somebody no matter what. Something's sticking. And that okay, you know, all for that. But whatever that purpose is within you, no matter how small you may think it is, because remember our brain's still in association mode, so it associates different things, and sometimes we can do so much association that we talk ourselves out of just being us. Trust me, I know. I know. I have had some great advice over the years. I've had some awful advice over the years, and I've taken both of them. I'll just have you know. And, so it takes a while to clean up some stuff. But, there's that thing with people sharing vulnerably because they're pulled by a purpose. And, like I said, whatever it is, grab it. Let it lead you to more purposes. Let it expand out. Realize you are not just this, that you are this and this and this and this and this and this. And, I love recovery for that, healing for that. Let's see. So that would kind of lead me into the, already with the hate speech, because that just goes with it. You're always going to get that. That's going to brush up, gives you the opportunity to heal. And then some people are just assholes, man. Some people are, you're just not ever going to reach them. And that's true for us in all of our lives. You may have a family member that, just is never going to hear you, and maybe it's just because it's not you for them. Maybe it'll be somebody else. But we all have those people. And as content creators, we've got to come to the understanding that not everybody is always going to be able to walk this journey with us. And some people maybe can't continue to walk. My goal really truly is, and it sounds ridiculous, and people just, when I say it, that's why I don't say it very much, but that it would almost be, not almost, it would be amazing if nobody needed this kind of content. You know what I mean? Like if the world really got a hold of healing and people just became their healthy, whole, highest and best selves, that whole fantasy, then we wouldn't have need for content like this. And that would mean job well done, right? Like that's what that would mean. And so, maybe not everybody who started the journey with us needs to go through with us, you know? And so a lot of people went for there. But there's this tendency to tell that story as someone like myself who has gone through so many different changes right here with you all into not only just a physical transition, but I've made sure to mentally and spiritually transition as well, because just doing something, just changing your physical body, appearance, thinking that's going to be the ticket to your happiness and wellness, that is a complete lie and it will leave you broken. So do all the work, and I say that especially to trans people because it's a sad, sad happening to me when I hear of somebody who, does all puts their body through all of the trauma, that it actually takes for people to change at certain ages, like myself and people even older than me, but they go through all of that and then realize, oh, this didn't hold the weight that I thought it would. Now I wish I'd have never done it. Instead of realizing that there's not just a body change, like you're disconnected from within. You know, for Pride Month, I've talked about a few more of these, issues in different videos, and that's, kind of where we are right now. Like, you know, healing all of that disconnected parts of yourself for however many years that you had to hide yourself or deny yourself, or you know or pay dearly for yourself to be yourself, all the ways you had to disconnect with you and the people you love, and all of the complex trauma that happens within that, and just and go into a society that is fights you at times as well, and I know that people, racism is still alive and people are fighting that battle. I mean, why, you know that it's never going to be just one thing that does it. So we got to work on the whole package. And to me, that's what recovery is. And that's what I hope to share by doing all of this, you know, and, and so that if it touches somebody else in their lives, because we're all more alike than we are different. I mean, for real, if you just got totally real with yourself and just sat down and made a list, there's very few differences between our lives. That's why I can't talk about my transition story without talking about my recovery story, and vice versa. I can't separate them because they are within the healing of the whole me. And so, I'm honored to have been sharing all this. I mean, it's wild. But many of us go through it. Many of us don't feel like we can talk about it, survivors of, childhood sexual abuse. I mean, there's so many different things that I've gone through right with you guys that, for people to tell me for so long, or for me to believe that I could not speak about it, I'll kick that lie in the ass every time I push the live button, every time I upload a video, every time I make a post, I'll kick that lie in the ass. Because usually a good indication of maybe what your purpose is that thing that you feel drawn to and you're scared to death to do. That is a good indication that that is likely a very serious thing for you to consider doing in your life, in your recovery. So I'm just saying, I love recovery content creators. I love, people with the, tragedy to triumph story. Those stories change the world. Those stories change people. And, it has just been an honor getting to make so many connections with people living in their truth. And the opportunity to maybe share something that helps even just one person get closer to that. Because when we feel like we have a purpose, we feel like we have worth, and that is actually the process in which to meet that trigger, or that relapse conversation you have in your head before you go through with it. Having purpose is a wonderful ace in that hand, because that purpose will often have given you enough worth within yourself, even if you're just visualizing it. You're just letting yourself see it, because we have to let ourselves see good things for ourselves, because we get become accustomed to only waiting for the negative, the shoe to drop. We build this mechanism that says, if I don't expect anything good, I can't be disappointed when it doesn't come. And so thinking about allowing yourself to think about something good for you, what that looks like and feels like, is going to feel not comfortable. So feel it and heal it. Feel it and heal it. We're all just regular people sharing our lives with you, sharing our healing with you in whatever form or fashion, sharing our faith, sharing our writing skills, our photography skills. I mean, we're sharing what's closest to us. So for all of you in the world doing that, thank you. You have my greatest support and love, and all of my most positive energy and grateful energy, because it's because of people that I saw that I was able to begin to do this and will continue to do it. I look forward to this day all week, y'all. I climb on ladders in the hot sun. I mean, I crawl around on the roof in the hot sun, and I'm thinking about this day. I'm thinking about, what this means in the greater scheme of things. I'm doing things in my own mind and body to be able to say, hey, I discovered this cool thing that I could do, to help me with this, and to speak to you from my heart. So thank you for letting me do it. And I just congratulate everybody who's doing it, everybody who feels the urge to start. Take care of yourself when you do it. Make sure you are in a good, strong state of mind, and please have an amazing support system around you. An amazing support system consists of at least one person that will call you on your shit. Just at least one. We all got to have that. And so, have support, have people, build it right, make sure that you're ready. Because anytime you step out vulnerably, not everybody is going to agree with your stance. And the more defensive you feel about it, the the more open the wound. The more open the wound. So don't think that it's just going to be all wonderful and you won't go through things that are uncomfortable. You will. But if this is your purpose and it's your call, do it. Do what you're called forth to do. You will be doing me a great service. So thank you, everybody, to all the admins, to all the app owners and creators, to all the podcasts, to everyone out there, to the admins, to those that stay in the chat, to those that help us with promo materials, to produce the show and write the scripts, and all the things, the sharers, to every one of you. Thank you. We would be nothing without all of you in this scheme of things. So we can't do this without you. Thank you for your love, and thank you for your support. Now, I told you, if you stuck around to the end of the video, I was going to let you know how Pamela Topgen wants to help you in your healing process with her amazing skills at breakthrough.com. If you mention Recovery Soul Food, or even the Transgender Mentor, then she's going to give you a full free session of hypnotherapy. And that's, you get a consultation with her and a consultation session to kind of see how you like it and get a feel for it. Then she's going to give you a full free session. So you really don't have anything to lose. And I'm telling you, you have everything to gain. It is an amazing way to speak past your conscious mind into your subconscious mind and your body and your nervous system. It's an amazing. It's not something crazy we've seen on TV. It is like the most amazing relaxation you'll ever have. And it just helps you get in touch with you. So hit Pamela up with that, hypnobreakthrough.com. Make sure you go to Amazon, you write in Pamela Topjian, and you get that book, I Didn't Come This Far to Only Come This Far, and read it. Download your Sober app today, Apple, Google Play, everywhere. Go follow your good friend Recovery Soul Food and LC, right where we are. Let's see, I didn't even go do that. I didn't put it there. Oh, yes, I did. Follow. See, I'm doing so much. This is a one-man show, y'all. It's a one-man show. And I appreciate y'all so much. So, hey, join me next Saturday. I've got this really awesome transformational coach, Alyssa Caitlin. She is from Instagram. I love her content. It's amazing. I asked her to come on. She said yes, and she's going to be on next Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you guys so much. Have the most amazing week ever, and I'll see y'all next weekend. Bye.